Mike Dimas, and this is Pinball Shenanigans. All right, back in the basement to tackle some more Galaxy episode number 3. In the last episode, I changed the rectifier board without any backwards progress, which is nice. Oh, and a couple people commented, including Mark Valuk, and suggested, hey, like, you could just take out the whole bottom board with 4 screws. And I should have done that, because that is way easier than the 40 screws and nuts and bolts that I removed. And it's not, they're like, you know, you can remove the bottom board with just 4 screws and the whole thing comes out. But not even, because upon closer inspection, there's literally 1 screw that I would have had to remove the whole bottom board. That is missing. And both these guys are missing too. So literally 1 screw, I could have had the whole thing out. Instead, no, I had to remove this and 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 that and that and that. You know, I could have spared myself. So that is a lesson I have learned. I will do that next time. Thank you for the suggestion. So much easier. And then you can kind of clean up the area a little better too. Clean the board, I didn't do any cleaning yet, as you may be able to tell. That's pretty stained, so I don't know how much of that's going to come off, but I will give it a good vacuum at some point. So, on the weekend, I did just a couple minor things. I installed a new lock. I repinned this connector. And did I show you that this whole hack here, like, all I pretty much have to do, I think, is cut this green yellow wire right here, and then reattach it back here, and then this connector should all be hunky-dory, and I can get rid of all this excess garbage here. So there was, like, I don't know why, but 4 zip ties on this guy here. What I'll do is get rid of this last zip tie, tie this guy back to where he's supposed to be, and then I'll add in a couple new zip ties to make that all happy again. Okay. Then I also remembered, while I was kind of looking at the playfield, just checking things out, I noticed this plastic was pretty, it's like taped up in multiple spots there. And like, this is the one plastic that's kind of bad. And then actually there's this right here. For the most part, the plastics are in good shape. A little bit of warpage. But while I was analyzing, by the way, Gottlieb flipper bats, I will probably remedy that. But yeah, so when I bought Galaxy, and I mentioned in the last video, came with 10 other machines and a bunch of parts and pieces and bits and bobs. Well, look, it also came with a new plastic set. I mean, I'm surprised I remember that, because it was a few years ago. So yeah, I got a new plastic set with this cool little keychain plastic there. I might have to hang on to that for myself, because that's too cool to give away. Because, you know, eventually I will sell Galaxy, but hang on to it for a while. Anyway, that's what I did on the weekend when you guys weren't around, slacking at home, doing whatever you were doing. Oh yeah, Easter. I guess that happened. It is Easter Monday now, technically, and actually. So, what I'm going to do today is deal with this. Yeah, we're gonna undo all this. There's more hack than I thought initially. So yeah, this is the connector coming from the head, and I don't even need to put the head on the table. The wire is long enough that I can just plop it right here and bust out my repinning tools and boom, figure this out. So that is what is on the menu for today. First thing, I'll start with kind of cutting all the zip ties and seeing where we stand. And hopefully I don't have to lose too much wire, because I want to make sure that when I do all this that it actually fits and connects to the rectifier board. But I think I'm going to lose some length of wire in the process. I might have to like dry fit the head on the cabinet to see how much play I've got, because that would suck. I do all the work to find out that the connector doesn't reach because I lost too much wire. Okay, so that's where I'm at. Start dealing with that, and if I can finish that tonight, that would be a success. So let's get at it. All right, let's start with dissecting this disaster here. Clip off all these zip ties, remove some electrical tape, and kind of see what we're dealing with. This is like zip tied on so many levels. It's zip ties on zip ties on zip ties. They wanted to make sure the wires were secure. Here we go. That guy's free. This is more like, that's an original zip tie. Let's get rid of the green ones for starters. Okay. Does that free us up yet? Might not need to get rid of the original ones. Okay, was this green wire part of this connector, I think? Okay. I believe, yeah, this is going to be for sound. And then here's the other half of this guy. So, good thing I have a reference with my Nugent. It'll be the same wiring, I believe, for this sound connector. So, kind of feel like we should cut off this out of the equation. And then we know we can start with that, maybe. I'm not as good as repinning this style connector though. Like, I have trouble getting these out. Maybe I just don't have the best tool set. I've got tools for that. The pin removal tool somewhere. I'll find those after, but okay. And then this, all of this stuff, I believe, is really just part of this connector. Okay, so this, all this crap here is where they added this connector. So I can just undo all of that, and then we're like halfway there. So let's get rid of this tape for starters. So if I can just like maybe cut off all the added wire, I might not lose too much wire in the process. So, okay, I think we can manage. And you know what? We know where all the wire colors go, because they left half the wires in the friggin' connector. So that's actually awesome. That saves me from having to look it up in the manual, although I may just for reference, but that makes my life a little bit easier, really. Okay, so I will fudge around with this for a bit, and I will report back. All right, here's some of the shrapnel that came from this disaster, and here's where I'm at. So I think my strategy is probably I'm just going to cut the wire harness right here, and I am going to lose... Jay just texted me, Jay the neighbor, he's in Barbados, and I just saw something, $200, I don't know, I'll have to read that text and see what's going on with Jay the neighbor. He's, they're having fun in the sun right now, but I need to cut this off, probably right here. I'm going to lose 4 inches, and I think I'm just going to have to gamble that it'll still connect after losing 4 inches. I friggin' really hope it does. If worst comes to worst, I'll just relocate the rectifier board on the bottom board. I could always just move it a little bit closer. Oh, and Jay's wife just sent a video. What are these guys doing? It's about 8:30 at night or so. I think these guys are partying it up. I'm looking forward to seeing what they sent me. If 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 permits, I may actually include that video. Who knows? Just for fun. We'll see what it is. Okay, I've made no progress because I was just checking out the video, and turns out Jay won a fish cake eating contest and got a $200 prize in Barbados money. There's like 1,000 people watching. The news media were there. He got interviewed. I'm going to add a quick little video here of him winning and, I don't know, accepting his prize. Enjoy. Okay, quick little progress report. I've got this half done up to the orange wire, and I did spring for a new female housing. Voila, it's looking much better. And yeah, half the connector to go. And then I'll double check all my wire colors, make sure that's good. Deal with this guy. This guy's going to be more challenging, I feel like, than this whole thing together, just because I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to pop those guys out. I have another solution if needed, though. We'll see what happens. All right, old connector. New connector. Look at that. Still got to deal with this guy here. But just for fun, I did double check all the correct wire colors for this J3 connector, and they all matched up, every single one of them. So I am very confident that that connector is good. So I'm just going to deal with that soundboard connector next, and might be connecting the head after that, so that's exciting. Alright, I had this problem on my Nugent as well. For some reason I had to redo the soundboard connector on Nugent, and with my pin removal tool, it appears to be the right size, fits on there snug. I just can't remove these terminals, so I tried needle nose pliers on this end. Same problem as before, so I'm not sure what my problem is exactly, but I think I'm just gonna hold off on this for now. I'll show you actually what I did end up doing with Nugent, since I wasn't having luck with that style connector. I changed it. No, it wasn't Nugent. It was Magic then, I guess. Let's go have a look at Magic. Still having the CPU crashing issue on this. Other than that, it plays amazing. See what I did here? I changed the connector style altogether. And I would have done that, but I only have 1/2 of this connector in stock. So I can't deal with that right now. But I posted on Pinball Repair Help Group. Maybe someone can tell me, am I doing something wrong? I must be, or using the wrong tool. But I don't know. It seems like the right tool. So I think I'm gonna probably put the head on now. Is there anything else in here I need to address? I don't think so. Got this connector here. It's fine. Yeah, I think that I am good to go to put the head on. So that's next. All right, head installed. My 2 head bolts will suffice. They're on there good. This head is solid, so I'm happy with that. Now time to wire some stuff up. All right, everything's wired up. I may actually disconnect the CPU before I power it on. Test the solenoid voltages before I connect the CPU. But there is one more thing I must attend to, and I will show you. Yeah, so I finally figured out what those extra wires were for that I discovered the other day. These guys are what used to be this J1 connector. So I just gotta grab a new housing, figure out which wire goes where, make a connector for that. I will deal with soundboard connector later. This new guy is plugged in. This old hack is removed. So I gotta put a connector on here, and then we should be able to power this guy on. All right, this is magic. Red on the left, then we got a blue, white, regular blue, and then white. We'll see if those colors match up. All right, there we go. New connector made, and it was exactly the same as my magic, so that was easy. Gotta like that. I think I'm gonna turn this guy on, and I'll test the solenoid driver voltages. Okay, one moment, I gotta disconnect the CPU first. All right, I'm plugged in, CPU's disconnected. It's kind of a big moment. I mean, let's just see what happens. Solenoid driver, you know, it's toasty, but it has been repaired. So we will only know once we power this guy on. So I'm gonna power it on, see if anything blows in the solenoid driver, and then look at the power supply quickly. So here we go. 3, 2, 1. Let's give that a minute. Okay. I don't think anything bad is happening. Got our general illumination, some blinker bulbs. We have glow on this display. Probably because that is a Bally. These stern ones, I don't think they have that little glow, or do they? I could be wrong. If they are supposed to have glow and they don't, that means I have 4 bad displays. Hopefully that's not the case. But, okay, I'll just do this off camera, check these voltages quick. If they check out, we're going to plug in the CPU and see what happens. But hey, we have general illumination starting to come together. Okay, I did a very half-ass testing of the voltages on the solenoid driver, and I think it's fine. So let's turn it on now with the CPU attached. Oh, it's not locked on. LED's not locked on. Oh, okay, I think it stopped after about 3 or 4 flashes. So CPU is definitely not working. Okay. All right, we're gonna have to leave you in suspense. This will be a good place to leave off. Tomorrow, we can start busting out my test boards. Where do they go? Over here. My Alltech CPU, my Alltech solenoid driver. Between those two guys, I'm pretty confident we're gonna get this bad boy up and running. But running out of time now, so gonna call it quits for tonight. But hey, I'm pretty happy with that progress. So probably tomorrow we might be actually flipping this game. So that is pretty sweet. All right, talk to you later.